Hey, Space Commander. I was gonna be approaching towards in outer space, and hopefully I should be on my way to the Galactic Confederation Force, or even then, trying to able to actually explore into, what else? Some space themselves. Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Piglet here once again, and I'm back for some more of yet again, for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Yoshi's Crafted World for the Nintendo Switch. So last time we have managed to able to not only just trying to able to conclude some parts in Journey Forms of Rumble Jungle, but also we managed to take down the next main boss, which is Gator Train, and able to actually just to restore the 4th Dream Gem. So we've only got one more Dream Gem left. That appears to be, well, if we get onto the actual next part of this giant map, then we do realize is the fact that the final color of the Dream Gem we need to go after is of course the green one, which is at the very end, as you can see on this map. So today for this episode is the fact that we're going to be hit on to the next new world, which appears to be a space-themed world known as, well, if we manage to able to dive right in saying, is the Forms of Outer Orbit, which I think that's what the world itself is called. And the first level we're going to be jumping into in this world, that is the Countdown Begins. So, I think it's the level that involves around the rocket. Okay, quick go right there, because yet again, I was able to do this on the first attempt though, but unfortunately though, that I have to do a jump cut, because every time when I was going to be able to doing so well for the most part when it comes to getting or obtaining those collectibles, including the actual health challenge as well, sometimes I always attempt to able to get in a risk assessment, so I apologize for that. Little too much of advance, so I apologize for that. So either way though, let's just try this again, shall we? But hopefully though, this will be a successful attempt as far as you already know. In this specifically, this stage, as you can see, this stage is going to be a lot of involved around climbing and all that stuff. And also that, just like it forms of how it does it in, you know, Magnets and Mousers level in the Big Paper Peak, once again we need to get a lot of emphasis on magnets, as you can see, in order to actually just to progress. Because of that though, you need to use the magnets in the first place, just because you know how the fact that with those platforms right there, they're all made out of metal and stuff like that. This way we can able to actually just to progress, in order to able to actually just to go and climb up and stuff. Weirdly enough though is the fact that it has the exact same music as where it's shown, ever since on that specifically the circus level, which I've no idea why they choose this decision with this music choice, but that's just a little bit of convenience, that is. So either way though, yeah, today's day is the forms of the 31st of March, in this case the final day of March. And as a result, I just want to point things out right away. This is the final upload for this for now on, because after this has been done, well, after when I'm done with this, then I need to take a break for this game, because you know until tomorrow is going to be the April month. So as a result, that way we can able to actually do the insane of more Let's Plays in the future. Specifically, you know, 2 redo Let's Plays, as well as 1 brand new Let's Play coming up. So either way, I just want to classify that, just in case we're able to boost up some of those other views and stuff. So either way, that makes it a little bit obvious for that solution for that point right there. So either way though, yeah, I consider this the actual main factor at this point. So yeah, I suppose there's quite a few things worth mentioning for this point on, and that was the fact that with, for those of you probably wondering about the fact that Sonic has not even mentioned about the forms of the Sonic Studio Live, or in this case Station Live, that has been up during the forms of 4 days ago. Well, turns out they actually mentioned quite a few things for this for the most part, such as of course, for instance, for example, they did mention about the forms of the Japanese trailer again on the Sonic the Hedgehog movie Japanese version of that trailer. And despite the fact that originally that film was supposed to come out on, you know, on 27th of March, but unfortunately though, it has been delayed right now. So either way though, speaking of the film's delaying department, there's actually quite a number of those films has been delayed recently, probably because of the actual coronavirus has usually just caused every single part to be done. But we'll run down the list whenever we get on to the next level and stuff like that, because either way there's not much else we can able just to speak of. So either way though, let's just go ahead and use those 2 pairs of magnetic stuff, which hopefully we would be able to actually just to get ourselves, what else, some red coins, as well as you know, the occasional smiley flower, and everything else goes all pretty alright and such. So either way though, but either then though, hopefully, thankfully though, for me though, I can simply just manage to able to just go ahead and you know, trying to accomplish those specific in mind. So either way though, let's just go ahead and get ourselves the next smiley flower here, which we do need to get a lot of usage of that particular button, by the way, because that way if you're trying to leave it as it is, like as you can see on this up arrow, it obviously takes you up, but if you press the button down, then it obviously takes you down. So, oh yeah, this is the moment. We have ourselves the rocket segment. So we're blasting off up to space. I think that has been, sort of gives us the actual opportunities to go up. Oh, someone is actually, using a YouTube app. Okay. And here we go, we actually now onto the moon itself. So even then though, think of like how it did on Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door in Chapter 7, as well as Chapter 4 in Super Paper Mario, that you can able to actually just have ourselves a moon gravity physics, which meaning that you actually get yourselves a little bit more air on during forms of the actual jumping maneuvering. So, pretty cool though, especially because of how the fact that usually I just like some space levels every once in a while. So yeah, everything else goes all pretty nicely for the most part. So either way though, let's just go ahead and go up and get ourselves what else? The next set of few red coins. I get a horrible feeling that I might able to once again miss out on those, you know, red coins again. So I've no idea why I said that. Again, kind of word. For that matter though, probably because, well, it has been quite a few days since I actually mentioned about the forms of new information, despite on the forms of on Thursday that I've mentioned several things worth noting for. Oh yeah, by the way, another thing I'd like to discuss upon also, and that was the fact that recently, about the time whenever we get on to 2020 as far as this point in time, Sega, as far as the actual Sega company, has been gonna be 60 years since 1960, so pretty cool though, especially because of how the fact that Sega is actually doing pretty well, and especially noticeable that how the fact that despite with ups and downs, specifically with some Rush titles like, you know, Sonic 06, as well as Super Monkey Ball Adventure and stuff like that, but either way though, that's usually how it goes. But everything else though, goes all pretty okay. So even then though, well, in terms of like, well, I don't know how do I truly explain about that. So, anyway though, let's just go ahead and just, try to eat up the Space Alien Strike guys, as you can see. And just grab some more, red coins. Well, there's only one red coin I can get for that area, but unfortunately, get a strong feeling I might actually missing out on, well, not only 5 of those. Well, we pretty much guarantee we got ourselves all of the 20 HP or 20 health, luckily, but unfortunately though we're off by 5 red coins again, so it's gonna be one of those moments. But then again though, we'll basically go do a massive jump cuts whenever we're able to miss out on certain parts, so yeah, it seems a little bit convenience that is. Well, you know, sometimes. Again, I do apologize for the actual the commentary for the sake of time for this point today, folks, because usually I've already mentioned about tons of stuff I just mentioned ever since on Thursday, as I said before. So yeah, everything else will be much more consideration. So, next level we have is Ride the Stars, which, conveniently enough, I think we need to hop onto those shooting stars, or in this case, just stars in general, in order to actually just to progress to the actual stage itself. So, yeah, let's up to this. Again, another jump cut, because this time around, it's in a different level, and plus, again, I was able to do the actual flawless run on this on the first attempt, but BAM! No more flawless run through. So either way, I think the only reason being for that is because I accidentally ignored the first smiley flower on the first attempt. So hopefully better luck this time. So either way though, let's just go ahead and well, what else? Trying to able to continue exploring for this for the most part. So usually kind of think about it, this world always reminds me of the space land from the likes of Kirby's Epic Yarn, except rather than just made out of yarn, or even woolly for that matter, instead it was actually been made by crafted stuff, which I gotta say, it still looks very impressive even to this day, especially noticeable this is on Unreal Engine developer and stuff like that, which I always appreciate about that. So, you know, I suppose another thing I should probably say is the fact that they actually did manage to try to mention more about the Sonic at the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games, although it might be seems a little bit redundant to able to actually just to realize about the mentioning 2020 Olympics in 2020, just because you know how the fact that that particular Olympics has been delayed until next year in 2021, just because of that, you know, the terrible coronavirus and stuff. But either way though, let's not get ahead of ourselves at this point, because hopefully by that time, until next month or something like that, then we have to stay positive for the most part though, especially with the commentary in mind. Especially noticeable that we can able to do the next set of Let's Plays. Although, kind of thing about it though, is the fact that we were originally trying to able to go back into the actual Let's Play of Kirby's Return to Dreamland, or Kirby's Adventure Wii, if you're in the PAL territory. Unfortunately though, that particular continuation of that Let's Play will have to be delayed at some point in the future, specifically just because, well, obviously we need to mainly focusing on other set of Let's Plays first, specifically when it gets to the point until likely in, well, in April at some point, so even then I just want to classify from this point and on, so, you know, you get the idea for that. So, and there's the Smiley Flower, the real Smiley Flower is just down here. So yeah, that's how it usually goes for this point and onwards. And also that, you know, with the forms of, as I mentioned this before, that Sega has recently just reached into its 60th anniversary. Well, it wasn't until whenever we get on to a specific time, however, though. And that's what be the fact of the matter is, though, is the fact that you get yourselves a special bag with where it does say 60th anniversary that has a silhouette of Sonic. So as a result, it does look pretty cool though. So either way though, that's usually as kind of like a cool thing in mind. So even then though, that's as far as I can only try to say that for the most part though. So either way though, let's just go ahead and hop onto here. If I was gonna able to hop onto here within the actual trickier timing jumping and stuff like that. And also there's gonna be another red coin in here. And hopefully we shouldn't have that much trouble with, I don't think. So let's get more health after getting hit quite a few times. Then get some more Yoshi's eggs and get ourselves the next red coin that has been taken by the actual space alien shy guy. So either way though, yeah, I think that makes it a little bit obvious. So, oh yeah, by the way, with the forms of I don't know how do I explain this, to be honest with you guys, because that's as far as we can able to mention about the forms of other news in mind, especially notably because of how the fact that, well, you know, there's not much else we can speak of, although, during the forms of new information on Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020, I was about to do out at some point in May the 7th on the English version. They did at least got the Japanese trailer for that specific same game as well. But as far as everything else is concerned, well, despite the actual official Olympic Games in Tokyo 2020 has officially delayed and stuff like that, as I said before. And what I've noticed is the fact that I don't think we can able to get ourselves the new Sonic game, sadly though, which I don't know if it's pretty much unknown for the most part though, but then again though, it's just a little bit more of a coincidence of how the fact that it's able to actually bring us some promises potential, but either way, it's just, you know, kind of a little bit there for the sake of the forms of trying to discuss on things, but even then though, because again, I already mentioned a lot of things during the forms of on Thursday after, you know, trying to take on the souvenir huntings and stuff like that. But then again, once this has been up, which of course today's day is obviously the 31st of March, in this case the final day of March, so either way, when this has been uploaded, which is obviously today, I'm also able to actually just to take a break from this game from now on. So because of that, because we need to mainly focusing on, well, something else and potentially. Although we're originally trying to able to finish things up when it comes to certain Let's Plays, even though recently yesterday, that Sonic has recently finished up with his redo Let's Play of, you know, Super Mario Sunshine, and that goes all pretty nicely, all things considered. So even then though, that's, well, as far as the new Mario series of Let's Plays are concerned, aside from Mario Kart, as well as Mario Party, and even Mario and Sonic at the London 2012 Olympic Games, and even Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games at some point, but, yeah, that's pretty much what we can go for when it comes to anything else Mario-related Let's Plays from now on. Well, aside from, the Paper Mario series, and as well as, the Sonic stuff, which, obviously we were expecting to able to deal with Sonic events, or just anything else for that reside, but, there's not much else we can think of, so... It's pretty sad to tell you for this point, guys, because of how the fact that, you know, how the fact that we've recently just... It's just it's just the fact that with the coronavirus thing, it's just like... Just goes all over the place. Even with the entirety of 2020, it goes all over the place. So, either way, though, that's as far as I can usually try to say about this. So, there we go. And I get the horrible feeling I'm missing out on 3 red coins. And in addition with those 3 red coins I missed, I also miss out on that, you know, that smiley flower I accidentally missed on. So even then, that's kind of bad, but either way though, that's how I usually go to be representing for. Oh yeah, talking of which actually, is the fact that the actual release date for Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020 in Japan, on the App Store and stuff like that, it's gonna have the exact same release date as the English version, so... Yeah, that's how it goes basically. So either way though, next level as you can see we're gonna be hit on to is some sort of like a space hub station, which I don't know exactly what this stage is actually called here, but either way though, probably because of I always keep on discussing about you know, just specifically certain announcements or anything like that. So I must admit though, I do apologize for that specific lack of commentary for the sake of time, as I said earlier, probably because of how the fact that, you know, it just goes all over the place. Seriously, it just goes all over the place when it comes to specific stuff in mind, so... But, you know, you get the drill for that point, especially because that, you know, it's just... Usually it just goes all completely gone like crazy all of a sudden, so, well, also very complicated at the same time as well, so either way though, I must admit though, it's just nothing else I can say. Well, apart from the fact that this particular level, as you can see, the actual name's level of this is called Space Hub Bob, which is kind of a weird name, but basically in this level's gimmick is the fact that we actually get how to get a lot of usage of these little robots, as you can see in the entirety of the background. And also, another thing you need to keep an eye out for is the fact that eventually in this level, sometimes the actual meteor rock will able to actually crash into the actual station, and then as a result, if the actual meteor rock decides to able to go ahead and just smack onto the forms of, or just get smashed onto the actual station, this would mean is the fact that the actual robots will start to go a lot more berserk all of a sudden. So even then though, it only happens for like a few seconds worth noting for, and also that, you know, with these little security doors, or these little doors, they manage to able to help you out with it. Sometimes you have to get a lot of usage on that, and if you really want to go after, you know, all sorts of collectibles for this point, so that way you can able to actually just to guarantee you can able to actually explore around in certain parts throughout. I'm pretty sure if you get hit by those robots, they actually become out of control. I'm pretty sure you're able to actually get hit by these guys, so even then that when they calm down, then these guys are not that threatening, they're just kind of friendly, because either way though, they'll allow you to able to, you know, just continue proceedings to the actual main emphasis on this level, so that way we can able to actually just to explore around and then just grab all sorts of collectibles and stuff like that in certain areas throughout. So yeah, that's how it usually goes. So yeah, there's also another thing is the fact that I'm pretty sure in certain mobile phones or anything like that, they obviously gives us the line of those little picture. Well, I really don't know if I can able to discuss on this point, guys, because again, I'm really gonna be able to be apologizing for the most part for this point in onwards, guys, because even then it's just that, you know, this year's gone all over the place. So anyway, let's go ahead and just eat these you know, Shy Guys here. And let's not forget these little present gift here and grab some more coins in the process if we're eventually trying to get ourselves the next costume along the way. In this case, the next few costumes and stuff like that. By the way, you notice how the fact that ever since your journey forms up on Thursday, well, in this case on Sunday, as far as I like to say for this point, because this is on Tuesday potentially, so either way, you do realize is the fact that I somehow potentially ignoring the actual emphasis on that, specifically the actual capsule machine, from the likes of getting some more costumes based off from, you know, from the next world. This is probably because I don't have that much coins with, so either way though, because chances are, hopefully by that time until whenever we get to the very end of this game, so even then though, because as far as you already know, that, we're gonna be now moving on to, the last few, points of this game, so that we can able to actually just get ourselves, not only for the sake of the forms of, the next crafted pieces and stuff like that, but it's also that the next goal is obviously we need to try to go after is the last of the Dream Gem. So even then, we can expect at least to see that how that's gonna turn out. So. Alright, so we're almost there, so even then we need to be very careful right here, especially how the fact that, you know, with the meteor rock is going to be able to approach it in any moment now. So chances are they're able to actually start losing control of themselves. Yep, there's the meteor rock just around here, and yeah, it starts to go a lot crazier when that's going to react to in time, so. I was really hoping that this will be the first attempt on this level, by the way, unlike the other two levels that I'm simply able to actually just jump cut the actual, the first attempt, which actually goes a little bit too much of an error. So either way though, oh Jesus Louise, this is gonna get a little bit tricky for this point here. Well, thankfully for me though, we simply managed to get ourselves all the red coins, and be careful of those crazy insane robots. After when they get, after they manage to realize about the meteor rock. And there we go, we've basically done this level within the first attempt, so kudos to that, kudos to that. And another thing they actually did mention, and that was the fact that with the Sonic Station Live, and that was the fact that they actually brings us the very cool iPhone cases, which even then, it does look pretty cool. I think it's usually compatible with most of the iPhone models, including recently iPhone 11. So even then, I would expect to see how that's gonna, you know, represent it for. So even then, because I did see some of those screenshots of that particular. So either way though, that way we can now actually access to the next world, but let's not do that just yet though, because obviously we need to hit back onto, first of all, we need to hit back onto Rumble Jungle, so that way we can able to get access to the capsule machine, and hopefully get ourselves even more costumes for that specific world, even though after apologizing for likely trying to ignore that, because, you know, as far as you already know, ever since on Sunday, I somehow managed to, well, didn't get that much coins, so, or in this case, for this matter, I didn't exactly got enough of those coins, so, anyways, we got the jungle truck, and we got the giraffe, and we got the Snakely. Oh, so that's what their names were. Okay, Rhino, no. Okay. And dried grass. And baby Rhino, right, no. Okay. Then frog with the blue flowers. A gator train car, based off on the boss. And frog with the pink flowers. And finally, the point card. So, yeah, that's how we can think of. So, either way, that pretty much takes care of Rumble Jungle, apart from that particular, the boss thing, which then again, we'll point it out whenever we're able to continue with this, until, I don't know when that specific Let's Play will make its return though, at some point, but then again though, we'll have to wait and see what happens there. So anyways, let's head back onto, you know, outer orbit, so that way we can able to focusing on, what else? Some souvenir hunting. So first off, we'll do, I think we might as well do one of them at the moment, because, well, I'll be back with, you know, the front side of this level, the countdown begins, as well as Ride the Stars level, that way we could able to actually grab the rest of these, remaining collectibles, such as, of course, the red coins, as well as smiley flowers. Well, most notably red coins in general, because I keep on somehow missing them from my entire run, which as a result, yeah, it can be a little bit of a nuisance sometimes, I have to say, so... Anyway, so if I recall correctly, the souvenir itself is gonna be over here. So it's actually not too bad to get there, as long as you need to able to keep an eye out with the actual environment. And let's just keep on moving before you're able to actually just go ahead and find the majority of these Poochie Pups. So there's one over there. I think this is where the point where I believe, to me though, the Poochie Pups hide-and-seek kind of scenario is going to get a lot more difficult to able to obtain at this point, so as a result, yeah, that can get a little bit more of a busy work, so... And I suppose another thing I wanted to discuss as well is the fact that with the Sonic comics in mind, I think they'll eventually get delayed when it comes to able to go on to May now, so as a result, the rumors are true, and in fact it's going to be releasing and during at some point on the 8th of May. So as a result, yeah, I think that's what I can say about it. And now we're heading back down into the forms of the bottom parts of, well, for this level in general. Because it's obviously in the flip side, obviously, so even then though, well, we can able to actually obtain those two Poochie Pups from here, but unfortunately for the sake of time, we definitely need to find them as much as we can. So there's another one over here, such as... oh no, it's gonna go float down, isn't it? Yep, it's gonna float down, so as a result, yeah. But thankfully, we're pretty much almost done with these for the most part though, but then again though, when we get to the forms of the later stages of this, though, it gets a lot more significantly harder to able to actually just to find them. Well, mainly whenever we talk about the forms of the pink Poochie Pup, then you probably know why. Because, well, if you couldn't tell already, if you probably want to know, if you really want to know what's gonna really happen, unfortunately though, this will have to be as a result no first attempts, because as a result, since this is my semi-blind playthrough, if you couldn't tell, this means I have no idea where in the world where that next Poochie Pup went. So, and also I probably should able to actually just to realize about something right about now. Well, I should probably talk more about the forms of the actual postponed films they actually got so far when it comes to 2020 in mind, and that was the fact that, well, recently the films they've got delayed is of course No Time to Die from James Bond, and also recently Scoop is now being delayed. The Secret Garden 2020 is also being delayed. She Dies Tomorrow, and also The Secret Dare to Dream, and Sleek Road, Slay the Dragon, Spiral from 2020, Stardust, Time to Hunt, and Uncle Frank, and also the New Mutants, and also Minions 2, The Rise of Goo, and Ogly, I can't really pronounce his name very well, I do apologize for that. Also Fast and Furious 9, Enter the Fat Dragon, and Digimon Adventure Last Evolution Kaisuru, and Drunk Bus, and also A Quiet Place Part 2, and Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway, Pink Skies Ahead, and The Rescue, The Run, well, Run, that's what it's known in here, and The Lovebirds, The Legend of Deflection or something, and Little Fish, Leap, and Black Widow, and Cutthroat City, and all the other jazz. I think there's actually, oh yeah, the Wonder Woman 1984, that's also been delayed, so yeah, that's a lot of films that's been delayed, so I can't even believe possibilities is like, you know, it just goes all over the place, you know? So anyways, I'll meet you guys back with the red coins hunting on those two levels here, as well as the smiley flower in the process, so yeah, I'll meet you guys there, so... Alright, so I believe the first 4 red coins is going to be on this part here, after dragging that magnetic thing here, and as you can see there's a question mark cloud just on here. So there it is, there's the familiar red coins patterns here. There we go. And the final red coin on the stage is the fact that once again I accidentally ignored this gift present. Oh, jeez, it's always gonna happen to me most of the time, folks. So on to the next level, and the final 3 red coins are just over here. And the final smiley flower on this stage is the fact that we need to hop onto this shooting star here, hop onto the actual familiar planet, which appears to be like a Saturn, and that way we should be able to actually just to realize that, yep, there's the last smiley flower right here. And there we go. That's all I can think of for the most part. So yeah, I think we're probably gonna end things off at this point right now, I'm afraid, guys. So join me next time for more of Let's Play of Yoshi's Crafted World for the Nintendo Switch. And that was the fact that we are still continuing things on Outer Orbit for, you know, just trying to hopefully wrap things up for everything for the most part, though. I say for the most part because we'll discuss more about this and during at some point in the future. So see you guys until, well, this Let's Play will not be continuing until at some point, maybe in September at some point. So yeah, I'll want to point you guys for this point. So see you guys then. Later, fellas.